Booktubers, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sylvie and today I've got another video for you. Today is episode number 4 of my Infinite Wish List series, the video that I'm filming to know if I'm going to add new titles to my already infinite wish list. If you're not familiar of what this series are about, basically I'd collect a lot of different stunning covers and intriguing titles about books I know nothing about, and then I simply make assumptions on them, and then I read the synopsis on Goodreads and finally decide if I'm going to add those titles or not. But I thought that these were too much static videos and a little bit boring, so starting from today we are going to play the version 2.0. So basically the new idea is that everything will be chosen randomly. The idea came up while watching other Booktubers video of their TBR games, and if you don't know, I have my own TBR game that is the Roulette TBR, and I leave here above on the cards my playlist, because it's a monthly game that I play to know what I will read in that month. This is a kind of game as well, but it's not a TBR game. Basically, I take the inspiration from famous TBR games like Cody's Wheel of TBR and the TBR jar from Upside Down. But now for real, I will tell you how it will work. There's a huge change in this video concept, because as I told you, it will be randomly, but especially I have already read the synopsis, because this video will be faster, funnier, and as I have more than, I think, 600, yeah, you heard it right, more than 600 books and titles and covers, I had to find a very faster way to show you the covers, to give you a very quick summary of the synopsis and deciding if I'm going to add it or not. The difference is that I will show you 2 covers per round, and these covers are going to be chosen randomly, because I'm going to use a wheel of genre. So here we are, I will show you better. I hope you can read them, but in a moment I will tell you all the genres that are on this wheel. So I'm going to spin it twice, and then I have different bags, jars and other things that are divided for genres. So I pick it again, a title randomly, and then I give you a very quick summary about these 2 books, and finally decide which one I'm going to add to my wish list. This video series will be a kind of infinite wish list battle. So before moving to the first round of this version 2.0 infinite wish list, I just give you the genre list. So the genre for the moment, because I'm still adding books and reading synopsis and dividing them into genres, but for the moment we have 16 genres. They are poetry, thriller, mystery, fiction, non-fiction. So this for me means that includes non-fiction books, but also other that gave me very realism theme, and but they are not like a biography or true stories. And then moving on, we have romance, middle grade, historical, contemporary, sci-fi, then fantasy, then retelling, we have dystopian, modern classic, short stories collection, graphic novels, and the last one is memoir, so it could be biography, true story, or autobiography. And after this long explanation, I think that watching this first round will be a very easier way to understand better how this new idea of my infinite wishlist video series will work. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, spin number 1 of round 1 is graphic novel that will fight against okay, one more second. Fiction and non-fiction. Ooh, a little bit shuffle. So for the graphic novel we have Moonstruck by Grace Ellis and Shia, I hope it pronounced right, Shia Beagle. So again, Brick Lane by Monica Ali. Moonstruck is a graphic novel series, no, that has LGBTQIA plus themes. The characters are kind of magical creatures and they have different magical adventures. So I think this is so cute. Oh gosh, let's see what is Brick Lane about. I forgot to tell you that Moonstruck was published from 2018 and 2020. Instead, Brick Lane was published in 2003, and it's about two Bangladeshi sisters with different paths, one in a love marriage and one in an arranged marriage. But not everything that you can expect from these two types of marriage will be, so maybe their happiness are a little bit different. So the sister in the love marriage will have to face the domestic violence. Instead, the arranged marriage will be a faithful commitment. I can't decide, guys, because I love graphic novels and these covers are so different and so stunning in, as I told you, in different ways. I love it about adult books about different type of marriage, so how to face a love and a arranged marriage. I already messed up, but I'm going to add both of them. Yeah, you heard it right. Both of them are going to be added to my infinite wish list. So, round number 2, we have, okay. Wow, historical, and historical will fight against a retelling. No, no, a retelling, really? This wheel of genres is so mean with me, and I think the beautiful bag of historical. So let's shuffle a little bit, and no. We have If You Don't Know the Words by Bianca Marais. Is for the retelling. I hate already my own decisions. And for retelling, we have like no. Okay, we have Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuznia. If You Don't Know the Words is an historical fiction published in 2017 about a white child and a black woman who forge an inextricable bond while grieving personal losses, and it is set during the apartheid era in South Africa. Let's find out what Midnight in Everwood is. It's a retelling of Nutcracker, and it will be published later in October this year. And I cannot choose. I want to read more about books set in South Africa during the apartheid, but I also love the Nutcracker. Do you understand that I again cannot choose one of these two? So again, both are going to be added to my wish list. Let's move to round number 3. Please will be kind with me. So, okay, here we are. Again, an historical again. Damn it. Okay, historical against I don't want to see, I don't want to see. Oh gosh, what is? A graphic novel! Really? Oh, no! Okay. I hope to find something that I'm not going to add in today's video. But now let's move to the historical bag. The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. For graphic novel, so I don't have so many graphic novels. There's one left. I mean, she's so mean today. She's so mean. Why I'm doing this type of videos? For graphic novel, we have Sehon's Tea Party by Raymina Yi. Sorry for the mispronounce of the author's name. So, The White Tiger is an historical fiction that was published in 2008, and basically the story of the main character, it's the story of India itself. So it's about the developing and the high changes in India. Another theme that I'd like to know more about. This graphic novel was published last year. The main character loses her friends in some way, but then she will be a friend of the ghost that haunts her house. Now you have to tell me, how can I choose between these two interesting things? I don't choose. So I'm going to add both of them again for the 3rd time. Can you see how happy am I? I'm happy. I'm really happy about adding new books. My money bank won't be happy about this. But it's okay. Let's move to the following round. Let's spin the first fighter for this 4th round. Okay. It will be a great idea, they say. You will have fun, they say. Oh, a mystery that will fight with memoir or autobiography. Mystery. We have the Aozawa Murders by Riko Onda. First envelope is for memoir or biography, autobiography. Shame on Me by Tessa McWatt. Aozawa Murders were published back in 2005. It is set in a coastal city in Japan in the 70s, and a physician hosts a party where 17 guests are poisoned and murdered. The only survival is the blind physician's daughter, and after years of this unexplained murder, there's a suicide that isn't connected directly to these murders, but the man who committed suicide confesses to be the real murderer. But not everybody are convinced of this, but the main suspicions remain on the blind girl. So Shame on Me was published in 2019, and it's about the author's family story, and it's also a reflection on race. A very difficult choice, but I think that this time I will take just one book. I think that I'd like to add another book about race and family story on my bookshelf, so this time Tessa McWatt's book is my only choice. And now spin number 5. So the first genre will be modern classic, and the second cover fighter will be a graphic novel again! Oh gosh! So today graphic novels are finished. Just to be clear, why graphic novels are over now, because I have already worked on 200 out of 600 and plus titles. So for the moment I have just this last graphic novel available as a paper sheet and everything for this new type of video. Also, modern classics are not a lot, they're just 2 or 3. Tea is So Intoxicating by Mary Essex. Graphic novel is so it's On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. Tea is So Intoxicating was published in 1950. It's about a main character that wants to open a garden tea in his town, even though there's already another garden tea, and they are kind of family gossips and town gossips around it. So this graphic novel was published in 2018, and we are following a girl that embarks on a spaceship to repair buildings all around the universe. But while she is trying to be part of the family crew, she is also hiding some secrets. Maybe the wheel was a little bit sassy in the first rounds, but now I clearly want to add the graphic novel to my wish list. A graphic novel is always a good idea, and this one I know it's a very huge book, even though it's a graphic novel. And also I want to give it a try to something sci-fi. Just for the record, sci-fi is not one of my cup of tea genre. So round number 6. The first genre will be historical again. Let's see what is the second genre. So here we are. It would be interesting if it's historical versus historical. Instead, it's a fiction and non-fiction again. So our already notorious historical bag. So interesting. The Garden of Evening Mists by Tan Tuan Eng. And for fiction non-fiction we have Santa Evita by Thomas Eloy Martinez. The historical book was published in 2011. So the main character has survived to a Japanese wartime camp. She prefers to be alone in gardens, and one day she discovers the only Japanese garden in her town in Malaya, and she meets the owner of this Japanese garden, who is Japanese himself. And with his help, she'd like to create a garden in the memory of her dead sister, even though she hates Japan and Japanese people. But also, this book is about secrets that are hiding everywhere. So, the fiction and non-fiction that was published in 1995 is about the story of Evita Peron, but also the history of South American politics, how people need to create myths and legends. I'm not sure where exactly the fiction and non-fiction book will lead, if more on Evita Peron's life, or more on the South American politics, or this idea that people loves to create myths and legends. So it's just that it's a combination of 3 different books that made me to choose the historical instead. Round number 7, first spin. Oh, sorry. Here we are. I love the color of this wheel. They are so autumn and natural. I love it, obviously. And we have mystery for the first choice. Okay. And second fighter will be from, let's see, mystery. No, I really don't hope that it will land on mystery. Oh, no, sci-fi! I thought it will land it on contemporary, but it's sci-fi instead. So we have mystery and sci-fi. For the mystery, The Peculiar Incident on a Shady Street by Lindsay Curie. So let's see. We don't have a lot of them, but let's see which one. Gear Breakers by Zoe Hana Mikuta. So, the mystery book was published in 2017. A girl who unravels a century-old mystery after moving into an haunted house. And the sci-fi will be published late this June. 2 girls on opposite sides of a war that later discover that they are fighting for the same purpose. We are here again, and I think that I'm going to add both of them. Round number 8, and so my computer decided to stop being a tablet, and here we are. So I'm charging it, so sorry if you see a little bit different. Maybe next time I'm going to recording before. It would be better just to have like a kind of screen record here and then picking up the titles and doing all the other stuff. But now round number 8. So the first spin, it's more heavy like this. It's historical again. Okay, and the second spin for the 8th round is come on. Fiction and non-fiction. Historical fiction, Cantoras by Carolina De Robertis. And for the non-fiction book, Midnight in Chernobyl by Adam Higginbotham. So Cantoras was published in 2019. We are following 5 different women who find one another in the midst of the Uruguayan dictatorship and how they become friends, family and lovers. So there will definitely be a female romance. And Midnight in Chernobyl, I think it's self-explaining, but it's the story of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster based on original reporting and a new archival research. I think that I'm going to add both of them because on one side I'd like to know more about the nuclear disaster, and on the other side I haven't heard about other books based on Uruguayan dictatorship. We have almost done, so let's move to round number 9. So spin number 1. Okay. Oh! Dystopian! Incredible. And the second fighter will be poetry. Oh, so cute and so different. Oh gosh, this will be another difficult choice. So for the dystopian, so is Girls at the End of the World by Laura Brooke Robson. And for the poetry, well, I got just two for the moment, even though I love reading poetry. Dreams from Many Rivers by Margarita Engler. So the dystopian will be a new release in June. So again, maybe this will be the first book in a series. So in this book, an epic flood is near, and only few people beside the royal court will be saved. And we are following a girl that will try everything to save her performer's family, until in this kind of circus family a new girl arrives, and instead of trying saving herself and this family, she wants revenge. So, and the poetry collection was published in 2019, and it's also a poetry collection for young readers, and is the history of Latinos in the US, and it has also illustrations. Both great choices. I love dystopian books. I'm a huge fan of the Hunger Games trilogy, and I still needed to read the prequel that was published last year or 2 years ago, I don't remember. I loved the idea of only few people will be saved from this epic flood, but this idea of that a new girl arrives and wants revenge, I'm not really into, but I think that I'm going just with the poetry collection. And last round number 10 for today's video, we'll have a fantasy book featuring a mystery. Okay, let's see, some fantasy. Okay, so for the fantasy we have First Become Ashes by K.M. Shpara. And I know that Maddie from a book browsing blog, she's reading it this month, I think, and this was one of her most anticipated releases, so let's see then what it is about. And the last pick for today's video is a mystery, and it will be and is Last Night in Montreal by Emily St. John Mandel. So the fantasy book will be published next month, so April 2021. And our main character here was trained his whole life to read the world of monsters. But when his partner left him only to join the FBI, is also telling him that the monsters that the main character has trained for aren't real. This is the only thing that I've understood about this book. The cover is so stunning, and let's see what the mystery book is about. So the mystery book was published back in 2009. And our main character has constantly traveled her whole life and changed identities, but her latest lover follows her in Montreal to be sure that she is safe, and also to know more about herself and her secrets. But he's not the only one who's looking for her. So maybe I missed the idea of both plots, I don't really know. But for what I've understood, neither of them are so intriguing, Maybe I will wait for Maddie's wrap up or book reviews on First Become Ashes, even though the mystery book gave me some Catch Me If You Can movie vibes, and I loved that movie when I was younger. I'm not really into any of these two, so this time, exceptionally, there will be no add to my wish list from this round. So today's I managed to add 14 out of 20 books, so who am I kidding? I'm going to add a lot of more books on my already infinite wish list. That's all for today's video, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this new version of this video series. If you have some suggestions about how to make it funnier or new titles to add, or you'd like just to tell me what was your high rated and lowest rated books from last month, please write me down in the comments. If you liked this video, please leave a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and be a new member of this family of book lovers. And just a very quick update, I decided to create an Instagram account dedicated only to this adventure on Booktube and Bookstagram, so I leave all my social media link down in the description box. And now we'll wait for you in the next video. Ciao!